Hi, my name is Michelle Temple, and I am the author of The Thoughts I See.
Well, I actually did hear of TMS when I first got diagnosed with my psychiatrist, but I didn't ask a lot of information. He just said we were going to start with different medications and we were going to up the medications and then we were going to see how we were. And if things didn't work, we would look at TMS. Now, I had known very little about it, but what I did know about it honestly kind of scared me. I was like, I don't want something like hitting my head or doing electric currents in my head. Like, I really, that's not something that I thought I would ever have to do, to be honest. I just thought, no, I will just take some medications. I'll go to psychologists. I'll go to a therapist. I'll do my stuff in my OCD app and I'll be fine. But when I wasn't fine and when it was that, again, I was going to lose my life over it, and he said, the psychiatrist said that time about, well, we have to do TMS because that's the next step. Like the medication isn't working. And I was scared, but yet at the same time I was like, okay, like I have no choice here. So like I will do anything. And Kevin at the time was so upset, and so he was talking to the psychiatrist and he was saying like, help us, like help her, like she's gonna jump off something, she's gonna do something, like we have to figure out how to help her. And he said, then we're just gonna do the TMS and it's gonna start right away. And I didn't even have a chance really to think about it that much, besides it starts tomorrow and I just have to do it because I want to live.
Mm-hmm. And how scary was that first time?
The first time was super, super scary. Thankfully, I had actually a friend who had went through it, and she had brought me a gift that morning at the clinic, and to help me feel more comfortable with it. So that helped extremely, just to, well, obviously to know that somebody else had gone through it, right. I think is very, very helpful, which is another reason why you like to get these stories out so people know that they don't have to do it alone. But when I, sat down and did all the prep work and they put the helmet on my head, I didn't know really what to expect. It actually hurt a lot more than I thought it was going to, because I know people go for like 40 or 80 treatments, and it's hurt so much in the first couple minutes. I thought, like, I'll never do this. I can't. Like, every single time it hit in the front here, my hand would twitch, my eyes would twitch, my whole side of my body would twitch, and I felt so much pain in the front of my head here that I just thought, there's no way. And then slowly, as they talk to you and your tech, says, take deep breaths, and once you get into a rhythm, start thinking positive things. So slowly you can kind of get your mind to go to the positive things, and then slowly the twitching will start to die down, because you'll get your mind on something else. And I mean, for the first session, it hurt more physically. And in the second session that we did back to back, it hurt more mentally, because the second session I had to read a script of all the terrible things that I see. So for the second session, I would sit with my script and read, I see myself stabbing myself. I see I'm hanging myself. I see somebody's coming up and slitting my throat. I see this. I see that. And I had to keep reading it to immerse myself in it so that my brain was just like tied right back in all those thoughts, so that when the different magnets hit, that would disperse it to the other side. So those magnets didn't hurt physically. They were just like, they'd hit here and hit here. They didn't make me flinch, and they didn't do anything physically that really hurt. It was more just like an annoying, like somebody hitting you with a pencil or something. It really wasn't bad. But every time that it hit, I had to constantly stay in the terribleness. Like I had to go to the depths of the most horrific things I've ever seen in order to try to disperse the thoughts to the logical parts of my brain. So I would basically, I mean, the first session for sure, I cried through the first one, physically painful. I cried the whole time through the second one because it was mentally painful. And I thought after the first session, I don't know that I can do this. Like, how am I going to do 40 days of this? And so then I went home and I tried to rest and just kept picking myself up every morning. I'd take a picture of myself, and by that time I had told my sister-in-laws and my sister and my mom some of the stuff. So I would, and my kids, because even Kiera, some of my friends, and I'd share a picture of myself in the morning and say, here I go. And they would just be like, you got this, you can do it. And so then when I had other people that were like, you can do it, then I knew that I had to do it. Like, because I couldn't just run away now. Because now I actually, had people rooting for me and pushing me on and saying, you can do it. And so I basically took a picture of myself, I think every day for the first, 7, 8, 9 times. And then I was able to start doing it on my own. And I'd still have bad days in between. Like there still was days that I would cry the entire time because there was things that would happen during the TMS sessions that were just horrible. And so it would bring up things that were horrible, things that I never wanted to deal with before or think about, but it was definitely an opening of the pathways of my brain. And literally by like the halfway point, like 20 to about 23, my brain, I could tell, was starting to recognize what was garbage in it. It was starting to, whenever I'd read my script, it was almost like it was watching like a horror movie. It was like, what? Like, who said that? And it was like the logical side of my brain was like, no. Like, that's not right. I don't know what's going on over there, but that is not right. So we're going to have to like do something about that. So then it would be like, I'd try to actually keep getting back into my script because my brain would say, like no way. And so it was almost like in a way like you were starting to fight yourself, but in a good way, because in a good way this time being that your brain was starting to say, no, like I have more power and control. I can work on trying to get rid of this. Like, this isn't right. This isn't you. And so there was stuff like that, and then that would keep you going. But of course, there would be moments that you fall back again and fall back into your own traps and stuff like that. But really, by treatment 40, I was definitely very much changed by the TMS. Very much.